Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is Good or Evil comes from one thought. Jigong was an eminent monk of the Southern Song Dynasty, whose monk name was Daoji. There are many legends passed down about Jigong saving people with his supernormal abilities. Thus, in popular culture today, many stories about Jigong helping the poor and punishing evildoers have circulated. One day, Jigong was collecting alms as usual when he saw a dogmeat seller relieving himself in an outhouse. 2 baskets of meat and the shoulder pole for carrying them were lying on the side of the street. Jigong saw with his celestial eye that the outhouse was going to collapse soon and that the dogmeat seller would be buried and die there. Jigong thought, no, he shouldn't die, for he is a great example of filial piety for the world to learn from. Then he went over, picked up the shoulder pole, and ran off with the baskets of dog meat. At the top of his voice, Jigong called out, "Look, no one wants these 2 baskets of meat. I will take them to my temple." The dog meat seller heard, and losing no time, he rushed out of the outhouse, his 2 hands holding his pants and shouting, "Hey, monk, don't you grab my baskets?" Only a few steps after running, there was a loud boom behind him. When he looked back, he was stunned to find that the outhouse had collapsed. He became scared and thought, "Oh my goodness, thanks to the monk I was saved. Otherwise, I would have been crushed to death." Jigong laughed and returned the basket to him. Jigong said to him, "You are a dutiful son. Go right home after you finish selling the meat. Your mother is waiting for you there." The dog meat seller, named Hussein, had been doing business for many years. He was living in Chinatown Street with his mother and wife. Hussein liked to be agreeable with other people, but he was never agreeable with his mother. Early in the morning, he often argued with his mother, and he even spoke to her with very rude attitude. His wife was a kind lady, and she often gave him advice, saying, "Your mother is getting old. Please do not make her angry." Hussein said nothing and just carried on with his business. One day, Hussein was cooking meat at home and asked his wife to look after it while he left the room. He went to the market and bought 2 dogs, a mother and a son. Hussein tied up the mother dog and carried the son dog on his shoulder. He put them in the courtyard and went inside the house to get a big knife with which he intended to kill the dogs. He put the knife in the courtyard and went back to the house to get a basin. But when he returned to the yard, he would not find the knife. He asked his wife, "Did you take the knife?" "No, I didn't," she replied. After searching for a while, he found that it was under the sun dog. The sun dog thought that Hussein was going to kill his mother, so he immediately carried the knife away in his mouth and put it under his body. Hussein immediately kicked away the sun dog, but the sun dog ran over and lay on the neck of the mother. With bare teeth, the sun dog stared at Hussein, and tears dropped from the sun dog's eyes. Looking at this, Hussein was stunned. He threw away the knife and ran into the room with a loud call. His wife was terrified by his shouting. Hussein thought, "I'm not even better than a dog. Even a dog knows where he came from. Shouldn't a human being know it?" After that, he went to the yard and spoke to the 2 dogs. "Okay, I'm not going to kill you anymore. If you want to stay, you may stay, and I have food for you. If you want to go, you can go." Next, he went to his mother's room, knelt in front of her, and said, "Sorry for my disrespectful behavior. I'm guilty." His wife said, "From now on, as long as you are good to your mother, our lives will be happier." Hussein said, After I sell the dog meat in the pot, I will change my profession and not to kill animals anymore. Husan went to Chinatown Street that day and suddenly felt he needed to relieve himself. He laid baskets on the side of the street and rushed to the outhouse nearby. Unexpectedly, the outhouse collapsed, but he was saved by Jigong. People might ask why Husan was called a great example of filial piety, since he was so rude to his mother. This story shows that there is only one thought that differentiates between good and evil. Although Husan was not respectful toward his mother, once he realized he was wrong, he changed right away and showed his mother deep respect and filial piety. His kind thought came out and his behavior followed suit, such that his evil thought disappeared completely. That is why Jigong called him a great example of filial piety for the world. In the same way, if a person has been doing good for many years, but one day suddenly has an evil thought, this evil thought may lead him to do evil, and all the good he did before would be cancelled out. At the moment when the thought occurs, even he does not do any evil, he is already a truly evil person in the world. Thus, one must choose a lofty destination and walk toward that destination, although it's far off. Since one has already started in that direction, sooner or later one will reach the destination. Choosing good or evil comes from just one thought. This kind of thought is so important. So we call it, when Buddha nature emerges, Buddha light shines everywhere. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.